You know that feeling, right? Your furnace is making some weird noise. Or worse, the AC just gives up on the hottest day.
Oh, yeah. Suddenly you need help, like, now.
Exactly. And you're just hoping, really hoping, the person you call is going to be straight with you.
It feels like a bit of a gamble sometimes.
It really can, and
Okay.
that's precisely what we're getting into today. We want to give you the inside scoop on the HVAC world.
What makes a technician genuinely qualified?
Right. And importantly, how to spot the potential, well, pitfalls so you can keep your money safe and your house comfortable.
Mm-hmm. We've dug into the whole journey, how someone actually becomes a certified HVAC pro.
And we look closely at some really impressive union training, specifically focusing on a program in Utah.
Yeah, that was interesting. But then, unfortunately, there's the other side, the tactics some folks might use that aren't exactly ethical.
So the goal here is for you to walk away from this deep dive feeling, well, empowered, ready to make smart choices for your heating and cooling needs. Okay, let's start at the beginning then. What does it actually take to become a qualified HVAC technician? Because it seems like it's more involved than people might think,
It definitely is. The typical path starts with formal education.
like trade school or maybe community college.
Exactly. Usually runs somewhere between, say, 6 months and maybe 2 years.
And what are they learning there? It's not just basic repairs, is it?
Not at all. They get into the real science, thermodynamics, basically how heat moves,
Okay.
electrical systems, which are crucial, refrigeration principles, how your AC actually cools things down.
Right, like your fridge, but bigger.
Kind of, yeah. Plus, building codes, safety standards, and even like HVAC system design.
So that's the book learning, the theory. But that's just the start.
It's the foundation, yeah. But then come the really critical parts, licensing and certifications.
Okay, like what?
Well, number one is the EPA Section 608 certification. That's an absolute must-have.
Why is that one so important?
It's for handling refrigerants. The chemicals that do the cooling and heating in many systems. They can be harmful to the environment if not handled right.
Ah, okay, so that's a safety and environmental thing.
Yeah.
Mandatory.
Absolutely mandatory. Think of it as the baseline. Then you've got things like NATE certification,
Nate, what's that stand for?
North American Technician Excellence. Now, this one isn't always legally required like the EPA one.
But it's good to have.
Oh, definitely. It's like an extra badge of honor.
Mm-hmm.
Shows the tech has really gone the extra mile to prove their knowledge. It's highly respected in the industry.
Okay, so EPA is the must-have. Nate is the really good to have. Anything else?
Yeah, state licensing. Many states, and Utah would likely be one, have their own specific licenses. That often means passing tests and doing continuing education to keep up to date.
Makes sense. Technology changes.
Constantly. And then maybe the most important piece after the basics, hands-on experience.
Right. You can't learn everything from a book.
Not even close. In most places, you're looking at typically 2 to 5 years of apprenticeship or supervised on-the-job training. That's where the classroom knowledge meets the real world.
Working alongside experienced pros, seeing actual problems.
Exactly. Troubleshooting things you'd never seen in a textbook, that's where true skill develops.
Which actually leads perfectly into that Utah example we looked at, the union certified training there.
Right. The Utah Career Centers program, it sounds incredibly thorough.
It does. It's a 5-year apprenticeship. That's a serious time commitment.
It really is. And the structure is pretty intense, too. We saw it involves 3 classes a week in the evenings.
So they're working during the day, learning on the job.
And getting about 1,800 hours of that on-the-job training every single year for 5 years.
Wow. That combination of classroom and real-world work sounds like it would build some serious expertise.
That's the idea. And the skills they cover, it's comprehensive.
More than just fixing furnaces.
Way more. Air systems, airflow principles, which is huge, ductwork installation, even specialized stuff like welding and brazing. The whole HVAC and refrigeration spectrum.
That level of training must cost a lot, though. Or how does that work for the apprentice?
Well, this is where the union model is interesting. The information highlighted pretty competitive compensation, actually.
Really? Like what?
Apprentices apparently start at over $23 an hour. And that includes full benefits right from the start.
$23 an hour while learning. That's pretty good.
It is. And then once they finish the 5 years and get certified, their potential earnings jump significantly. Think $70,000 to $85,000 a year.
Okay, that definitely shows the value placed on that intensive training.
And it's not just wages. The sources mention full family health insurance and even 2 retirement pensions.
2 pensions. Wow. That kind of security must attract dedicated people.
You'd think so. It fosters career building, not just having a job, plus they're learning in state-of-the-art facilities.
Using modern tools and equipment.
Exactly. The same kind of advanced tech they'll encounter out in the field. And they're learning from experienced journeymen.
People who've been doing this for years.
Right. Passing down that practical wisdom, you just can't get any other way.
And it doesn't stop after the 5 years, does it? The learning.
No, there's a strong emphasis on ongoing education. Keeping up those certifications, EPA 608, NATE, another one called RMGA, even leadership training opportunities.
It really paints a picture of a highly skilled, well-supported workforce, which, is what you hope you're getting when you call for service.
Precisely. But that leads us to the less pleasant side of things, because not everyone operates with that level of integrity or training.
Yeah, this is where it gets tricky for homeowners.
Yeah.
How do some companies or individuals maybe exploit this situation?
Well, the information we reviewed points to several, let's say, common scam tactics you should really be aware of.
Okay, like what's the first red flag?
A big one is claiming your entire system is just dead or needs complete replacement without doing thorough diagnostic tests first.
Just flat out saying, it's shot, gotta replace it.
Pretty much. It's a quick route to a big sale, bypassing potentially simpler, cheaper repairs.
That links to another point, right? Pressuring for replacement without even talking about repair options.
Exactly. A reputable tech should always discuss repairs first, if feasible. Many issues, even seemingly major ones, can be fixed, extending the life of your current unit.
And what about using scary language?
Oh yeah, the fear tactics. Saying something is a serious fire hazard or dangerous without showing you proof or explaining why, that's designed to panic you into a quick decision.
Makes sense. Play on safety concerns.
Mm-hmm. Another one is the today-only discount. Sign now and save big.
High pressure. Don't give you time to think or get other quotes.
Precisely. A fair offer should still be fair tomorrow. There's usually no legitimate reason for that kind of urgency.
We also came across something called the commission problem. What's that about?
It's basically how some technicians get paid. If their primary income comes from commissions on selling new systems rather than hourly for repairs.
Their incentive is to sell, not necessarily to fix.
You got it. That can lead to biased recommendations. They might push for a replacement because it benefits them financially, even if a repair is perfectly reasonable for you.
That seems like a fundamental conflict of interest.
It can be. And reputable sources like Consumer Reports and the FTC have actually issued warnings about these aggressive upsell tactics in the HVAC industry.
Have they? What do they say?
They confirm it's a known issue. And one statistic we found was pretty shocking that potentially up to 40% of recommendations for full HVAC replacements might be unnecessary.
40%? That's huge.
Yeah.
That means nearly half the time someone's told they need a new system, they might not.
If the diagnosis was truly honest and thorough, yes. That's a staggering amount of potentially wasted money for homeowners.
Okay, this is really important stuff. So knowing all this, what can you, the listener, actually do to protect yourself?
Right, let's get practical. First step, and it's simple but crucial, ask for credentials.
Don't be shy about it.
Absolutely not. Ask to see their EPA Section 608 card. Ask about state licenses if they're required where you live. A legit pro will have these readily available and won't mind showing you.
Okay, check the paperwork. What else?
Get a second opinion, especially if we're talking about a major, expensive job like a full system replacement.
Just like you would with a big medical decision.
Exactly the same principle. Another company might find a simpler solution or confirm the replacement is needed, giving you peace of mind. But get that second look.
And when they do diagnose a problem, what should you ask for?
Insist on a detailed explanation. What exactly is wrong? What are the specific options for fixing it? What are the costs for each option?
Get it in writing.
Preferably, yes. A clear breakdown. If they're vague or rush you or won't explain clearly, that's a big red flag.
It also helps to have realistic expectations about lifespan, right?
Definitely. The information suggests a well-maintained system furnace or AC can often last 15, maybe even 20 years.
So if someone says, oh, it's 10 years old, time for a new one.
Be skeptical. That 10-year rule is often just a sales line, not a hard and fast technical reality. Condition and maintenance matter more than just age.
Okay, good to know. Is there any kind of rule of thumb for deciding between repair and replace?
There's one guideline called the 30% rule. It's not absolute, but it's useful.
How does it work?
Basically, if the cost of the repair is less than, say, 30% of the cost of a whole new system.
Then repairing probably makes more sense.
Often, yes, especially if the system isn't ancient, maybe in that, under 15-year range. It helps weigh the economics.
Right. So wrapping this all up, it sounds like the main takeaway is knowledge is power, really.
It truly is. Understanding what goes into making a qualified technician, like that rigorous union training we discussed,
And being aware of the potential scams and pressure tactics.
allows you to ask the right questions and not be easily swayed or, frankly, ripped off.
Recognizing the value of that deep training, like the Utah program, helps you appreciate what real expertise looks like.
And it means you're more likely to seek out companies that invest in that kind of quality and ethical service.
So ultimately, it comes down to being an informed consumer. Do your homework, trust your gut, get second opinions for big stuff.
Invest in regular maintenance, too. That helps things last longer. And demand transparency from anyone working on your system.
Doing all that can save you potentially thousands of dollars in unnecessary replacements and keep your home comfortable without the drama.
Exactly. And maybe, just maybe, it makes you think a bit more about the value we place on skilled trades and ethical practices across the board. It's about more than just fixing an appliance. It's about trust and expertise.